Peace and welcome to World War Wrestling. Oh my god, I just got done watching tonight's main event. LA Knight versus AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. And it's just like, when I was writing my notes, I had AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. And I was like, that in itself is a dream match. You put LA Knight in there, it's like, it was already a great main event. But who is going to take the L? I could imagine that backstage conversation. I'm not selling for you. I'm not fucking jobbing for you. I'm not fucking doing this for you. And then it's like, all right, if you don't want to do that, all three of you can get your ass kicked, and then we'll decide from there what happens. Okay, I guess. All right, all right. Man, I don't. I guess like you should have watched it. I'm like, I don't want to give you any spoilers, man. You should have watched it. If you watched it, it would be no spoilers. That's how Wrestle Talk be. You should have paid for the pay per view. If you paid for it, then you wouldn't miss nothing. There would be no spoilers. I mean, you can watch the show for the spoilers. Then, and then the top villain, if he wasn't a villain before, he is definitely a villain now. If you weren't sure whether Roman Reigns was a babyface or a heel, this was the most diabolical mafioso. So you see the most beautiful super RKO that you can imagine. AJ Styles goes for the phenomenal forearm. Randy Orton hits the RKO, and you're satisfied. You're sad. You're like, oh man, that was a great. But it didn't feel like it was over quite, did it? If you were watching it the way I was watching it, the way you're like, oh, and then the ref gets pulled out of the ring. All right, great. Triple threat match, no disqualifications. LA Knight's gonna pull out a chair or something. He's gonna make a turn. That's how he's gonna beat Roman, is that he's willing to do anything to win. AJ Styles gets he's already a heel, gets the freaking low blow on Orton, hits the phenomenal. I don't know if Randy Orton will ever fucking sell to the Styles Clash. I don't know. I don't know. It's a convincing move. I don't know. Is it? Is it or is it not? I don't know. Is the Styles Clash cool or is it not cool? You gotta tell me. Tell me below in the comments. Fucking Roman Reigns comes out, and you just know it's gonna be bad. Like you just know, like, not bad is in the sense of, like, it's like some diabolical evil shit is about to go. He came down scheming. I wish I had the video editing skills to show you his face. This dude came down. Like he could not contain himself. He was so excited. Oh my god, he was so fucking excited to get in there. And then it's like Solo Jimmy's like, I don't gotta do shit tonight. Jimmy's face is like, this is the easiest paycheck I ever got in my lifetime. I didn't see Jimmy do a motherfucking thing for real. Because, people remember those ass whoopings. And then, like, what Jay's going through right now, that everyone's like, you beat my ass a year ago. I'm not cool with you. I don't trust you at all. And I guess Jimmy's kind of going to have to go through that too. If no one else likes you, you got to stick with your family. But Oh my god, it was phenomenal. And then you just like Nick Aldis watches the entire thing go down, and you're wondering like, man, how is Nick going to possibly regain control of the situation? Like he told Roman Reigns, the Bucks end stops with him, and then Nick Aldis put him in a fucking fatal 4-way match. How how else could you have dealt with that? What is Roman gonna do? He's gonna get fucking Lance and Nagi? Lance? You need Jacob. If you had Jacob in his corner, it would be unstoppable. You had Jacob, you got Solo, you got Jimmy. You could run the whole show that way. Probably make him too strong. You can't get Lance. Juicy. I don't think Juicy is actually related. I believe Juicy is actually Tongan. So he's not even Samoan. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? This is like we're only in January. We're only in January. And so far I've watched everything all week. I don't think I haven't done my AEW review yet. I haven't recorded it, but I did watch AEW. And make a tier list or something. I don't know. But comparing SmackDown to Monday Night Raw, SmackDown is definitely more of the fighting show. There's definitely like backstage segments too that I didn't see. I saw the Kevin Owens match, and then I kind of like saw Logan Paul. And after I saw Logan Paul, like I was cool at Logan Paul being at the commentary desk, and then Logan Paul started talking, and I was like, "Oh God, I can't fucking." I turned the whole fucking thing off, and then I came back for the main event, like the last 20 minutes. Oh God, like I'm horrible for that. I really know, but like he's not his brother. He's just not his brother. He's just not that guy. Like Jake Paul might actually be that guy. He might actually be that dude. And now he's going the real route and taking some real boxing matches and getting that under his belt, you know. But I don't feel like Jake Paul is at a stage where he should be main eventing anything. I don't feel like Logan Paul is at a stage where he should be so cocky. Like he hasn't really done anything yet. He hasn't really done anything all that impressive quite yet. He does stunts. I guess that's what he said. It's ironic. Everything he said about Ricochet is everything that I was prepared to say about him. But I like Ricochet, so I guess I should like Logan Paul to some extent. But I just don't really like Logan Paul. I think I don't like Logan Paul because of Meat Canyon. And Meat Canyon addressed that rather recently. Like, not that he wishes he didn't really make the video, but he just kind of like acknowledges it's kind of like a fucking shitty thing to do. Like, I don't want to use this platform to hate on anybody. I don't want to use this platform to bash anybody. I don't want to use this platform, to talk about any alleged scandals or, scams or like shitty. I haven't watched the CoffeeZilla refund video yet, so I'll watch that first, and then I'll decide how I'll deal with Jake Paul or Logan Paul rather, through the rest of World War Wrestling. Because I don't know, I feel like Logan Paul is a great example of respect is the replacement for love, for the absence of love. Where there is no love, there is respect. I feel like Logan Paul. I guess both, honestly. I guess both is like really a great example of that. That you don't really like them. You're not really rooting for them necessarily. You're kind of hoping that they lose the whole time. But they keep overcoming and they keep winning. And at the end of the day, that's really what's most important here. There's not. Let me put it like this. You got like rap music, right? And you got like some god MCs. You got guys who like when it comes to freestyling, they're the absolute best freestyler. When it comes to battle rapping, they're the absolute battle rapper. When it comes to mumble rap, they're the best mumble rapper. When it comes to like artistic, alternative type of rap, like they're the best of that. And then you have white rappers. And everything that they do is that much more amazing because they're a white rapper doing this. You know, there's a lot of white wrestlers, so that's not really the equivalent of making here. But he's a YouTuber. You saw how excited people got because Bad Bunny did a Canadian destroyer, like a move that I'm pretty sure all of us were hitting on our best friends or getting hit like with by our friends growing up. I'm pretty sure all of us were taking Canadian destroyers and doing massive amounts of brain damage because none of us knew that wrestling was scripted or choreographed rather. We just kind of did it. They just did it anyway. Not a smart thing to do if you don't know to how to take a neck bump. Uh Sorry to anyone that got hit with a Canadian destroyer in their lifetime, but it's not the way that Petey Williams does it is absolutely beautiful. You know, the way that Penta does it is absolutely beautiful. The way that Bad Bunny does it is like the exact same way that we did it in the backyard. So, and then he jumped off the top rope, which again, I'm pretty sure most of us were doing that as kids. And if you weren't, then good for you. Like maybe you had parental supervision and you had someone to say like, "Hey, what the fuck are you kids doing?" We were like hitting each other with sticks and rocks when we were kids. Like we were young though, so we knew better. I don't think we really liked each other. But I feel like Logan Paul is just this ever growing kind of thing where you have like, oh wow, I can't believe he did that. Oh wow, I can't believe oh my god, like he's a champion. And it's kind of like a Donald Trump effect type of thing that everybody's laughing, but the whole time this guy's like winning and this guy's like really racking up. So I think the idea of Kevin Owens, a journeyman who's gone through the Indies, gone through the NXT, he's gone through all the bullshit to prove himself that he deserves to be here, and then Logan Paul just shows up on SmackDown. And like to be more fair, I think actually just shows up for like a pay-per-view. I think he did like some SmackDown shows to begin with, but I don't think anyone really thought Logan Paul in WWE was going to be a long time thing, but I think he had to find a way to get all these people their money back. And, I think as most of us think, what better way to make money other than professional wrestling? Like if you've committed war crimes or if you're in debt, you become a gladiator. That's what you do in the Roman Empire. So Logan Paul did his thing. And he's still doing his thing. And I really hate to say it, but if you're honest with yourself, like if you're super duper honest with yourself, Logan Paul is kind of like a young Diamond Dallas Page. Like Diamond Dallas, but the opposite is that Diamond Dallas Page started his career a little, but it's like getting to see like if Diamond Dallas Page started his career at 30 instead of at like 40 or 48 or so, or 38 maybe. I think he was like started at maybe 38. I don't really remember his interview or his story at all. But I do remember that he started professional wrestling relatively like old, he said. Logan Paul is kind of like a young Diamond Dallas Page. And maybe not in the fullest extent that you guys are thinking about it. Probably because you guys can probably tell white people apart better than I can. But to me, it's like kind of probably how you see all black people or how you see all Asian people. I don't know. But they kind of look exactly alike to me. And where you can kind of go with Logan Paul's gimmick as he cleans up his personal life, as he stops doing all this shit to make money because now he's already making pretty good money at least. Like you're probably making a decent money if anyone in your camp is watching this or if you see this, Logan Paul. That you can probably become a better, more likable human being. I would love to see, now that I make the connection between Diamond Dallas Page and Logan Paul, I feel like WWE can make a Logan Paul babyface run. But it's largely going to be up to Logan Paul cleaning up his very public personal life. And I think by him giving the refunds, he's trying. I think all of us are trying, all of us are doing our best. And I think even the very fact that let's put this into perspective. Let's put Logan Paul in perspective here. I began this talking about the main event. I'm now talking about the opening match. But instead of actually talking about the opening match, I've spent more time talking about Logan Paul than I did even talking about Roman Reigns. Come on now, like you can't. You can feel however you want about Logan Paul. That's like a fucking draw, bro. That's a huge draw. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You can hate on him all you want. You can dislike him all you want. You can call him whatever name that you want to. That's young Diamond Dallas Page right there. That's what I'm referring to use from now on, Logan Paul. Logan Paul is a young Diamond Dallas Page. Maybe you should take some DDP yoga. You should link up with Diamond Dallas Page and learn how to become a decent human being so that, I can get a babyface run out of you, Logan Paul. I want to see you as a babyface. On screen and in real life, I want to see you as a babyface. I see the potential within you, man. You seem like you're really. Logan Paul seems like he's like a really cool guy to be around. Probably gets obnoxious, in large doses, but he seems like a really cool guy to hang out with. But people say the same thing about me. Ah, there was some damage control stuff going on with like Michin and not Sonya Deville, Shotzi Blackheart. And I just feel like they need Trinity Fat too. like I see Michin, I see Shotzi Blackheart, and then I'm like, where's Trinity Fat too? Like I just like I don't see why you would go if I was a young woman. Damage Control is like the mean girls. Like they're mean to each other within the group. And then they still have this weird like communal bond with one another. Like it's like the peak of feminine utopia. Like they don't necessarily like each other, but they work together phenomenally well and very dangerously at that. I have a lot of theories about Damage Control, but I just like I don't know. I feel like there's no better place to put this on the card because if not, Kevin Owens and Logan Paul would be mid carders, and Logan Paul is supposed to be like your main event draw. So I probably think there was some protesting there. I feel like this should have opened the show though. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's my imagination. Maybe because I didn't like really pay any credence because Logan Paul got on the screen and then I turned off the entire program. I saw Kevin Owens win. Kevin Owens is like one of my favorite wrestlers like ever. I just feel like Io Sky is like a great opener. That's all I'll say. Any pay per view you have, anything you do, I feel like Damage Control should open the show. It's the most interesting thing going on. Not really the best all the time, but it's the most interesting thing. Bailey is a wrestling genius. And I really don't think you can put over the idea of how big of a fan that she was and is of pro wrestling over how big of a fan that she is of the women around her. So Bailey is just kind of what Natalia wanted to be. Because Bailey actually had the success on the other side of becoming a champion, becoming a very dominant champion too. Turning back and forth, turning babyface and heel back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know, that Natalia can only be Natalia. And I think that's a very powerful thing within itself. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like underselling that or, Natalia is fucking Natalia, man. She has other assets that are very important to life that not everything has to be about professional wrestling all the time, just him. It's like whatever, but who cares? Like, but not everything has to be about professional wrestling. Sometimes people have great things about them that have nothing to do with you. And she's married, so we're gonna shut the fuck up and move forward with the night. And you know, everyone's gonna have their day in the sun. Everyone's gonna have their moment. They're gonna have their run. But that was it for World War Wrestling.